What got us started was a research paper on the persistence of animals by Dr. Rita Drilling of the Santa Barbara Animal Psychology Center for Research.
She did a brilliant experiment with 2 different species last year. Sea lions, Zalophus californianus, and orangutans, Pongo pygmaeus.
I don't think we need to use the scientific names, Ian.
I think we do. This is science.
Aren't you going to explain what the experiment was?
No, you're explaining Drilling's experiment. I'm explaining our research.
No, Alright. Well, Drilling had this idea to measure the persistence of these animals by restraining them with a rope or a harness and putting their favorite food just out of reach. Of course, the animals hadn't been fed before the experiment, so they really wanted the food. And so the point was to see how long they would try to get the food, how they would go about doing it, and so on. Would they try until they exhausted themselves, or would they realize early on that there was...
So really fascinating stuff. You can read about it all here. Anyway, our experiment will take Drilling's work to the next level. What will happen when we constrain a human in a similar way?
Of course, there are some humanitarian questions to consider, so we won't reproduce Drilling's procedure exactly. Instead, our research will focus on...
I'm explaining this.
Right.
Our research will study how a single subject will fare if constrained within an isolated area of ground for an undisclosed period of time. That is, we will know how long the experiment will last, but the test subject won't. She'll be tied within a circle of land, a circle with a radius of 4 feet, until we let her go.
We'll give her food, of course, and everything like that. So, really we're testing how the knowledge of being isolated for a period of time that the subject has no control over, how that will psychologically impact the subject. It's sort of a boy in a bubble kind of thing.
Except it's a girl in a 50.27 square foot circle.
Right, a girl in a circle. Tiffany Bridges. We tried really hard to find a test subject. Really, really hard. But no one was interested in being tied up alone for an unknown number of days during break.
Even though we offered to pay them.
Except for Tiffany Bridges.
And the only reason she agreed to do it is that she's already such a loony loner, she won't know the difference.
Ian, this is for our tape. What he means really is just that Tiffany Bridges is something of a free spirit. We don't really know her, but we were so psyched that she agreed to do it.
This is it?
Yes.
This is it?
Yeah.
Damn.
Sorry, Tiffany, but this is what a 4-foot radius circle looks like.
Noah, it's Bridges, not Tiffany. Only my parents call me Tiffany. Do I look like a Tiffany?
No, but you don't look like much of anything else either.
Sorry, Oscar, what'd you say?
My name is Ian.
I know, but what I don't know is why you already have a problem with me, Oscar.
So Bridges, you know the deal. We'll restrain you, and we'll be camping out every night in the car, so...
So that if I get mauled by a rabid Rhode Island bear, you'll know to call an ambulance.
Right. Look, we just wanted to tell you again how grateful we are that you've agreed to volunteer.
Sounded just crazy enough to be good. I hope you guys don't mind, but I brought some essentials.
Essentials?
A comb, fan, a little copper tone, some off, chopstick, water, and a torch.
A torch?
Blah!
That's fine.
We didn't include any of that stuff in the write-up.
All right, Bridges, let's get you hooked up and then we'll be back around noon. Well, this should be interesting.
I hope she understands how serious this is. This is for real. This is the culmination of our psych class. And we're going to get our research published in a legitimate scientific journal. This experiment's my ticket to Caltech.
Everything is going well. Brought you lunch.
Thank goodness.
How's it going?
Nice, thank you.
I hope you like the sandwich. I forgot to ask what kind you wanted.
Should be fine. Oh, as long as there's no meat in it.
Shit, you're a vegetarian? I should have guessed.
Gotcha. Hey, where's my boyfriend?
You have a boyfriend?
Ian the Grouch? We're madly in love, don't you know?
Oh, him. I think he had to work, but I told him I could take care of the first round of questions just fine.
This is a really banging sandwich.
Good, I'm glad you like it. It's my girlfriend's favorite, so you know, I thought maybe it's a girl thing. Personally, I don't much care for tomatoes, but...
Scarlet Lee, right?
Yeah. Wow, Bridges. I wouldn't peg you to be the type of person to know who's dating whom.
Yeah, well, I'm not one to be pegged. Although I do kind of feel like a human-shaped peg in a round hole.
Hey, Bridges.
I don't know which I'm happier to see. People or food?
Well, let's do questions first, then food. Tiffany Bridges, you've been in your circle now for almost 9 hours. What have you been thinking about all this time?
Life.
Had a philosophical epiphany, huh? Decided the meaning of life.
Well, I came pretty close. I mean, I have been pondering the same single question for about 3 hours now.
Really?
To pee or not to pee? That is the question. I need to pee.
Oh, Jesus.
And I don't really want to pee in my circle because I don't know how long I'm going to be living here, you know?
Well, this is quite an oversight, huh? We'll be back in a minute.
This is ridiculous.
Well, this is our fault. We should have thought of this before. What do we have her do?
Do you have any empty bottles?
Day 2, just checking in.
Everything is going fine so far, though nothing interesting has happened whatsoever.
Bridges isn't presenting us with too much psychological change, but that is a legitimate observation. She doesn't have to go crazy for the experiment to be considered successful.
Yeah, but that would make everything so much more interesting. I don't know how we know if she went crazy anyway. She's so crazy as it is.
Ian, we took care of the urination thing, and she asked us for a blanket during the night because it got cool.
I didn't think we should give her one, to see what that did psychologically.
But the point of the experiment is not to study the psychological ramifications of being forced to be cold, just isolated.
So of course, he gave her a blanket.
Now we're going to give her breakfast and have a conversation with her to see if there are any changes in her mental state. She's been in the circle now for about 22 hours.
Morning, Bridges. So, what would you like to talk about? Bridges?
I'm trying to decide which I think came first, the egg or the chicken.
Please be serious.
What makes you think I'm not being serious?
Everyone knows the laws of evolution stipulate that the egg came first. It's not even a real question anymore.
Do you believe in God, Oscar?
I don't see why that's any of your business.
I didn't say it was. I just wanted you to think about it.
I believe in scientific fact.
Bridges, what's that?
A pile of grass.
Clearly.
Why did you construct a pile of grass?
I was bored. I decided to build a 2-scale model of Olympus Mons.
Of what?
The highest mountain in the solar system located on Mars.
See?